People think that it is the Zionists or a Jewish Antichrist that will rule, but the Bible states that it is a religio-political power, so it can't be Jewish, but rather the Pope and the papacy. The Bible in Revelation chapter 13 speaks of two beasts. The first beast is the papacy, but in Revelation chapter 13 verse 11, we see another beast. Verse 12 of that chapter says that the second beast will exercise the same power as the first beast. This means that this beast or political kingdom will actually do what the first beast did, which was a persecuting power. So there are going to be two powers in the last days, which are the Vatican and the United States, meaning the United States will also become a persecuting power. And here are we today with a Roman Catholic president and a Jesuit pope engaging the world into ecumenicism and the climate agenda to help achieve the papal agenda. People think that it is the Zionists or a Jewish Antichrist that will rule, but the Bible states that it is a religio-political power, so it can't be Jewish, but rather the Pope and the papacy, and that this power will ascend back to where it formerly was during the Dark Ages. And during the Dark Ages, the Bible was shut away from the people, and Bible truth was obscured. The United States will speak as a dragon, and the papacy will have its deadly wound healed in the last days. So the two powers in the last days are not Israel or China, but rather the United States and the Vatican working together to bring about a final system. Revelation chapter 13 verse 15 and 17, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark of the beast, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So the papacy's agenda exceeds that beyond the climate agenda, but it involves worship, it involves religion, and the Pope, coincidentally, is pushing for climate Sundays to become a reality. So we would see a transition from a climate change agenda to an actual worship agenda where the whole world is paying homage to the papacy by resting on its day, its false day of worship. The principles of Laudato Si and Fratelli Tutti are being trickled down in the political realm, like organizations such as the World Economic Forum, the Rockefeller Foundation, are all becoming involved in this. Soon, these principles will come on the population, and recently, these two organizations have pushed for a vaccine passport digital identification, which has been used by other countries throughout the whole world as a vaccine certificate. And it is backed by the World Economic Forum and the Rockefeller Foundation. And this comes from the Commons Project, which is from the World Economic Forum, trying to use technology to control the pandemic, all for the sake of the common good. However, God is not a God of force or coercion, but rather a God who loves us and gives us freedom of choice. The Vatican has a history of coercing others and forcing others, especially as it did during the Dark Ages. Freedom of choice is a gift from God, but the globalists do not believe that. The Catholic Church does not believe that. They believe that individual rights and individualism are wrong, and that it's all about the collective over the individual. So the privacy rights are being taken away, the individuality is being taken away and demonized, which the papacy has thrown out the window for centuries. And the common good is a thread that brings the pieces of the puzzle together. And the World Economic Forum, in harmony with the papal agenda, the Commons Project, is clearly being achieved. So we as Christians have nothing to fear because we are told that all these things will happen. And even more things will happen than what we are seeing right now. But what we are seeing is a United Nations, a World Economic Forum agenda, but ultimately it is a Catholic agenda. Catholic meaning universal. The Catholic Church wants universal control, and they will keep going at this till Jesus comes again. But as God's people, what sets us apart from them is that God's people pray for their enemies instead of coercing them. So we have nothing to fear, as God is not a God of fear. This is Carlos Santibanez with Truth Seeker Project.